Okay, shut the fuck up. I haven't written a speech because I am a classic. When I open my mouth, I usually put my foot in it. I'll leave the speech to Andrew, my lovely stepdad, who's been the most amazing stepdad any lady could ever want. And I'm very grateful to Andrew. I want to say thank you to everyone that's turned up. I've had the most amazing day, and like I said to Jane, I don't want to say it in front of Mum, but I've had the most marvellous day of my life. Yeah, just thank you everyone. Now, I will say, if you'd be upstanding, I'd like to propose a toast to Jane and Spencer.
After me, job.
Jane and Spencer. And drink to everyone else. Thank you very much, everyone.
Cheers.
I'll hand you over to Andrew.
Well, he's just stole all my bits. So I've nothing to say now. Leave my paper alone. Hello, everybody.
Bit closer.
A bit closer. I'm the marvellous stepdad, apparently. I'm Andrew. I'd like to welcome you all to this happy occasion. I'd like to send big thanks to everyone who has helped to organise the wedding, and also the staff here at Knightor Winery for their hard work today.
I'll second that.
Yeah. Right, Jane. This is going to be short and sweet. Right. Our first encounter was when Jane was 6, and that's 36 years ago, and it was a bit like WhatsApp is today, really. Jane and Hannah living at Wheel Unity, and we're passing potato print pictures to me from under the kitchen door. And nowadays, it's passing pictures over the airwaves. Nothing's really changed. Only different methods of passing pictures. Over the years, you won't be in a minute's bother, really. Apart from the odd cigarette butt thrown out of her bedroom window and melting in our conservatory roof. But if that's all I can moan about, it's not too bad, is it? Fast forward to today. And we're also proud to see you here with the love of your life, Spencer.
Here, here.
And Spencer, welcome to our family. Right. One or two words of wisdom for the years ahead. One is keep making each other laugh, because laughter is the secret ingredient. And Spencer, don't forget the what 3 words, which is the thing now, isn't it? What 3 words? And it's yes, my love. You won't go wrong.
Yes, my dear.
Yes, my dear. Yes, my love. What 3 words? I was looking at bits and pieces, and I found another kind of word of wisdom for Spencer, really, and I thought, well, this has got into a T. So I could just read this little bit out, and it's nurture your love like a garden. Plant the seeds of trust, water it with patience, and watch it bloom into a beautiful oasis of love and happiness. So that's my words of wisdom for today. And now, please join me. Oh no, Jeff's already done it, but I'm going to do it again. Please join me in raising a glass to the newlyweds. May your lives be filled with an abundance of love, laughter, and countless beautiful memories. Jane and Spencer.
just like to say one other thing. If Hannah doesn't mind, I'll say this. I went around to visit Deb and Andrew. Deb invited me around for dinner, and as I went in, I saw Hannah in the dining room crying her eyes out. So I said, "Oh, Hannah, what's the problem?" And Hannah lifted her hand up, and it was totally red. And I said, "What's happened?" And she said, "Andrew's hit me." I thought, "You bastard. I'm going to have you." So Andrew walked into the dining room and I said, "Andrew, what's this about?" And Andrew said, "Has she told you what she said to me?" I said, "No." So Andrew said, "Tell Dad what you said. You don't mind, do you?"
No.
So
We're in it now.
So Hannah didn't speak.
So am I.
So I said, "Hannah," I said, "what did you say to Andrew?" Andrew said, "I'll tell you what she said. You're not my fucking dad." I said, "Hold out your other hand." And that was Andrew. The best stepdad in the world.
I forgot about that. That's Hannah to a T too.
I believe it's your turn.
Oh.
Hannah.
Hannah getting the speech.
Throw the dog over the table.
Then group.
You want
Yeah,
to
you're on.
You want to get
Hannah.
Horrible voice.
Go on up.
Yeah, pass it over. You're on.
Oh, didn't feel under pressure until I had the microphone. Hello, everybody. I've tried to keep it short and sweet because, as most of you know, that I can rave about Jane all day. My sister, the bride. You're just the kindest soul, and you deserve the world. And I've seen you at your lowest in life, as well as your best. And I can honestly say that I've never seen you as ecstatically happy as you are when you speak about Spencer. The love of your life, and now your husband. Not only have you found someone that understands you, he understands us and our bond. And I will always be grateful to you, Spencer, for making my life easier by protecting and loving the most precious thing on this planet to me. Sorry, Bella.
What about the dog?
She's always sort of made good choices in life, but you, sir, I am sure are the best one yet. Jane, without you, my life would have been a half-life. You've always embraced my quirks in all your shenanigans, except the time that you and Claire obviously built a barricade in the attic to keep me out. You'd had enough of me just that one day.
It wasn't just you, it was Rob too.
Oh, yeah. Apart from that, you've shared your life and your friends with your tag-along little sister, and I'm so lucky, as those friends are so strong, loyal, loving, and always have your back. They melt my heart.
Here.
They melt my heart with how highly they talk of you, and they just love you wholly and have always had your back. So can I just please raise a quick glass to the queens that are Leanne, Kelly, Claire, Helen, Jodie, and Jodie.
And they've helped me as well. Thank you.
My rule has always been, if she's okay, I'm okay. So thank you for keeping her strong. Our darling mum, Andrew and Dad, and also Uncle Keith and Auntie Annette, thank you for our childhood. You know, we've been so lucky to have had the freedom to make memories and knowing that we were just so loved and so very safe. With the odd firm word when needed. And our dear Grandma Ruby, who would have been so proud to see her little womp dumps marry the man of her dreams. You've all shaped us into who we are and led us here today, so thank you for getting it so right. I don't want to tell embarrassing stories, of which there are many, but we know we shared them all. The ups, the downs, the crazy, always together, Krang McDoobie Raddle and Keith Rally Ratanoff against the world. The respect you two have for each other is just so pure, and watching you fall in love has been one of my greatest pleasures. And so, as I raise my glass one last time, I pass the torch to you, Spencer.
And
My new brother-in-law, to share secrets, to make memories, and to know what it is to be loved by Deborah Jane Richardson.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, firstly, I'd like to thank you all on behalf of my wife and I. For joining us here today, and special mention to those that have travelled from afar, the Felixstowe contingent, and of course Lisa, our representative from Canada. Also to those that helped us get to this point today, so my groomsmen for keeping me on the straight and narrow, and the bridesmaids for inevitably prying Jane off the ceiling this morning, and for helping us to prepare. You've all really been very wonderful, and we appreciate it very, very much, so thank you all. To both of our parents, we thank you for your ever-present unconditional love and support. We're very, very truly lucky to have you all close at hand and close at heart. Jeffrey, Andrew and Deb, you've made me feel very welcome, always part of the family, and I appreciate that very much.
Very welcome.
And Mum and Dad, thank you for everything, for bearing with me through the years, for giving such a solid example for everything. And in fact, from that example, I think I've been able to divine the secret to a lifelong happy marriage with similar words to wisdom that Andrew shared. Yes, dear.
Never forget it.
Yeah, I won't. So some of you will remember me from Jane and I's first encounter 16 years ago. Yeah. And whilst it was from the very start.
I always knew.
Yeah. Same, I always knew.
Yeah.
So 16 years ago, and whilst it was a bit of a surprise to Jane, I knew then that eventually we would end up here. Maybe not specifically here, but ultimately together. And that's a sentiment that I know some of you shared, because I remember the word
100%.
lobster being batted around quite a lot.
Lobster.
Yeah. And although we went in different directions for a while, we always kept in touch. We would always check in, the yearly birthday meme. Until one day when the stars unknowingly aligned, and through a strange twist of fate, we reconnected, which we can explain later. It's a funny story, thank you, Richard. So, after reconnecting, our first actual date was taking in the Angaric Christmas lights, which was nearly 6 years ago now.
No way.
Yeah. And 3 years later, at the same Angaric Christmas lights, I cheesily proposed in front of the 5 rings. Said there were 6. Very much, again, to your surprise. But luckily, you said yes, and here we are today. Husband and his beautiful wife. So I very much look forward to our future together as hermits. And with that, I'd like to call for 2 toasts. So firstly, I will have you raise your glasses and to toast my lovely wife, Jane. And secondly, I would like to toast to fate.
Yes. We always knew. Always knew.
And with that, I'm ad-libbing now, so I do apologise.
Please,
I will pass you over to the very capable hands of my best man, Laurie. I had the honour of being Laurie's best man at his wedding, and it is my absolute pleasure to return the favour and the honour. So, here you are.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Right then. Right. Right. First off, Adrian, Jane. I'm going to try and keep this short because I am shitting bricks right now. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Laurie. I'm the best man, and as Spencer said, he was best man at my wedding. And the reason I chose him as my best man was because I didn't think I would have to return the favour. Because I was convinced this man was never going to get married. Never. But clearly I was wrong. So here I am, still shitting bricks, and hoping to run to that bar as soon as I finish this. Now, me and Adrian, we go back to the early 2000s. Farnham College, in the smoking area, I do believe we met. I knew right away that he was special. He had a full head of hair. Smoked Marlboro Lights, he did. Had a quick wit, cocky confidence, and was extremely racist. I knew straight away. So it wasn't long before I realised I was going to be spending a lot more time in the pub with him than actually attending college, which is how we spent our days. Fast forward many, many years later, I end up moving to Cornwall and then eventually moved to Helston with you. And wasn't just for you, it was mainly because your dad, Colin, did a really good deal on the rent. Cheers, Colin.
Better than London prices.
Way better than London prices. So, where do we start? It was nice, apart from I've never lived somewhere where we've had the most questionable housemates of my life. Not naming names. Chris, you're not one of them, you were great. But it was quite a common occasion of us coming home from work, and we didn't know what roll of the dice we were going to come home to, either a dodgy photo shoot. Yeah. Mouldy chicken in the sinks, and very questionable, I will not tell you what there were, things left in corridors. Colin had to get involved in that as well, that was quite interesting.
The one house meeting that we had to have.
Yeah. So, even though all the chaos, Spen was the guy who had my back. We've been through a lot together, many late nights, very questionable decisions, more hangovers than we like to remember, because we didn't remember them. And he's always been there for me, and I couldn't be prouder to be here for him today. That said, I never actually thought you'd find someone crazy enough to be with you. But here we are, the lovely Jane. Amazing, beautiful, smart, funny, basically the complete opposite. She's the only person who could handle this bearded reptilian wrangler. And for that, she's the real hero today. So could we all stand, please? For the bride. So So to wrap this up, Adrian, you're my best mate. I'm honoured to stand here today, even if I thought I'd never have to do this. And Jane, thank you for making an honest man of this guy, because Lord knows he's needed it. So please, can everyone, last time I promise, everyone stand, raise your glasses. Here's to the bride and groom. May your marriage be as strong as his beard and as short as his hairline.